I would argue that since Obama, and Obama has divided us by racial politics, right? I never saw race, right? It's really simple. You're either a good person or you're an asshole, right? Yeah. I mean, you're in, I don't care if you're fat. I don't care if you're thin. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care. I'm not saying that I live the, judge you on the content of your character. I don't think I rose to that level of Martin Luther King, but it's sort of in those lines. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, for the most part.
Or what your racial identity is. But since Obama, the country no longer can take off the glasses of race, and everything is through a colored lens, no pun intended.
Correct.
Right. And this is an African American or a black American. This is a Jewish one. This is an Asian one. This is under.
Yes.
And that's what I rail against. So when we talk about this divide between, the genders, the races, we're either all American or we're not. And we either have a common set of values and belief, and I would argue we don't anymore.
Correct. That's all correct. And this is perfect. This is a perfect conversation. This is Republicans versus Democrats and progressives. Emotional. I'm going to do something that makes me feel good, makes me feel validated and seen. Logical. Right. I'm going to do what's good for the distance, what I think will work for the whole.
No, I'm going to follow my inner compass. I'm going to follow my rudder.
Yeah.
This is my rudder. My rudder says, look, my teacher, one of my instructors always used to say, Chernin, don't focus on, we'd show 20 different techniques. He goes, what do they all have in common? Right. So even though you had to learn the different techniques, the lesson was focus on what they have in common, not what separates them. And if you learn the seed, SEED, right, the seed concept of this technique or that technique, you could apply it differently. So in this conversation, it's always inside as to what's my rudder, not what you're telling me. And if you're a jerk, not you personally, like if someone's a jerk, I don't want to talk to him. And I am, and I try not to. I mean, yes, I'm human. So there are certain, it's sort of, let's call it racial profiling, and not racial profiling in a discriminatory way, but in sort of a street smart way. There's a reason that the Israelis have never really had a terrorist attack in their airports, because they screen based on racial profiling. That doesn't mean they're bad people. They just look for common factors based on percentages.
Yeah, that's
right. Most Muslim terrorists are young men between the ages of, I don't know, make up the ages, but I think it's sort of like 19 or 18 to 42 or whatever it is. So you look for what they have in common, because then you can make smart decisions. So in that alley, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What you didn't ask me, right? You gave me the Ericka, example to juxtapose, and I think that was a good one. But what you didn't ask me is, if I walk down that alley with you or without you, is my radar going to be tuned up more?
Oh yeah.
And of course it is. And if I see someone in a doorway, and let's assume I can't make out the color of their skin because it's dark, right? There's no lights. It's not a lit alley. It's not lights in the alley, right? Of course, my spidey sense is going to go up and go, okay, and I may walk on the other side. I may make sure, that I have access to, whatever it is I'm carrying with me, or my belt or whatever. So, but I am informed by that based on experience, based on input, based on, and yeah, okay. So now someone jumps out and they're black or they're white. Is my response different? Oh, it's a white guy. I'm not gonna, of course, it's not going to be any different.
No, everybody gets the business.
It's a dead man.
Yeah.
Then. Do you understand my point? I mean, I know we're sort of ranging far afield here.
I totally understand your point. What I was giving you is that when I explain these things, is like, you're looking at a relatively well people and you're comparing them to a people group who has a level of PTSD.
Say that again. I need to understand that.
You're looking at a relatively well people group. Let's just say white America, right?
Oh, you mean well, most people would say these days white Americans are not mentally well, but that's a whole different conversation.
Well, everybody's crazy now, but I'm saying
can we have
general,
PTSD too? Wait.
Yes. I bet a lot of you do. Look,
I got beat on lots when I was growing up.
Jewish people. No.
So
Hold
PTSD?
on. Jewish people have become too successful to be allowed to have PTSD or to talk about the victimization of your people.
Let me look. Okay. I'm trying to land it because we made.
There's an echo.
Oh, my bad.
There's an echo. I love that.
Both of my.
Now he sounds like Oz now. I am Oz.
We made a big turn. I'm trying to bring it back around. So what I'm trying to say is, when I said that Black people suffer from cultural PTSD, what I mean is we're not well. We have all these traumas. We have all these fears. We have an outsized level of fear and concern about white people and what we think the racists are doing. We have all of that.
So isn't that racism?
No, but listen, let me get to the end of this.
So here's a question. Can Black people be racist?
Sure. But the point is, all of that means that we don't respond correctly to the things you're talking. So that's why you'll see we feel like we need a national Black anthem. You are right. A regular person should be like, I have enough pride in myself. I believe in my people. I know I'm capable.
So I don't
need to feel seen by other people. That's us asking people to validate us.
So because of slavery, let me see if I paraphrase this, and if I'm off base, tell me. So what you're saying is because of slavery, or because of whatever, the history of Blacks in America, Blacks have a massive inferiority complex, so they need things like a Black national anthem to feel better about themselves?
I think many of us do have that issue.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen,